And while there is still talk in Washington of possibly using the 25th Amendment to remove Donald Trump as president or possibly impeaching him, there are other concerns with this. Our Michael Gibson has more on how the deadly insurrection at the Capitol might affect the president's current followers, those who are still left in office, in future elections.
A number of Republican congressmen have joined Democrats in calling for the removal of Donald Trump as president.
Like all Americans,
Democrats, like our local congressman, Vicente Gonzalez, welcome that support. But he's not exactly sure if there's enough votes to impeach the president.
Whether you like him, whether you like President Trump or not, many members in the United States Congress and in the Senate are very fearful of their own political career because he is so popular within their districts that for them to go and take a vote of impeachment against the president could potentially be political suicide.
Senator Ted Cruz has continued to support Donald Trump and his baseless claims of voter fraud. He led an unsuccessful effort to get the Senate to vote against certifying the election results in Arizona and Pennsylvania, a move to try and stop Joe Biden from being named president. Our local Republican Congressman Michael Cloud also voted the exact same way in the House as Cruz did in the Senate.
I think this is where a lot of the elected officials that have hitched their rising star to the Trump bandwagon are hoping that people are forgetful and don't have long memories. People like Ted Cruz, for example, was really gung-ho at the beginning of the confirmation process, the certification process of the electors on, having a vocal protest and backing Trump, because Cruz, as we know, is planning on trying to throw his hat in the ring in 2024. And so the question is, has this stain permanently tarnished the Trump brand?
Congressman Gonzalez believes there's going to be a political price paid by those Republicans who helped to incite the anarchists who overran the U.S. Capitol.
People are going to be questioned. Their loyalty to our country, to the Constitution, is going to be questioned in next election.
And the first of those elections is in 2 short years, as Congressman Cloud's job will be among those up for grabs. Michael Gibson, 3 News.